Yeah, I'm the tax man. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this live unboxing of the Beatles Revolver box set. Firstly, apologies. I did get this box set on Friday afternoon, but unfortunately, because of my work pattern, this is the first chance I've actually had to do to unbox it. So you're going to be seeing it live as I'm doing it. I haven't unopened it or anything. So I'm going to be actually doing this live, and I will be basically saying whether I think, my thoughts on this box set. Like I said, this is just the unboxing. So later on in the next few days, I will be doing a review of the actual records and everything, what they sound like, things like that. But today we're just looking at what you get for your money, basically, and if I think it is actually worth what we are paying for it. To be honest, I've tried not to look at any other unboxing videos. So, like I say, I've got to wear my glasses because I've got bags under my eyes, by the way, because I've done 4 days of 12-hour shifts. So I am a little bit tired, but I've promised people that I'm going to do this today, so I am going to do it. So get the all-important knife out. Like I say, this did come on Friday afternoon, so it was here for the actual, official release date. Go over that. So this is the box. You can see it's all intact. It hasn't been opened. I was actually quite lucky because I didn't actually order this till about 2 weeks ago. And I ordered it from a online record shop, one that in the past I haven't actually thought much of. Basically, the shop in Derby, I think, spoiled it for me. But I did actually order this from HMV. When I ordered it, it did say it could be within 5 days of it being released, but it was actually here for the release date. So I've just undone that. So we'll undo the box. Wow, that's nice. So the box is just a standard box. First thing to mention is it is packaged very, very well. And I do mean very well. You'll see you've got all this protective foam, is it, around it. So far, I'm impressed with the packaging, and I'm impressed with the delivery from HMV. Like I say, apologies to people who have ordered it from Amazon and places like that and are still waiting for. I'm not gloating or taking the mickey or anything when I say that. I just think I was very lucky because I ordered this quite late and it did come for the original release date. But unfortunately, I was working. So I haven't gone out yesterday and bought it or anything like that. It did come on Friday. Yeah, wow. So you take that off, which is probably worth saving anyway, isn't it? And this is it. What does it say? It says, the Beatles Revolver Super Deluxe 4 LP Edition, new stereo mix by Giles Martin and Sam O'Kell, 2 sessions LPs of outtakes, rehearsals, demos and studio chat, original 1966 mono LP, 100% 100-gram vinyl, plus 7-inch bonus EP with paperback writer and rain in new stereo mixes and original 1966 mono mix, 100-page hardback book with a foreword by Paul McCartney, exclusive historical and track-by-track information, rare photos and memorabilia. So that's the hype sticker on the front. That's what it looks like from the side. Now, I don't think you're going to see this, but on the original copies, it does say Revolver there. Now, you've got to get in the right light, and it does actually say it, but I don't think you're going to see it with this on it. Revolver's on the sides, not on the top. You've got all your copyright details on the back there. Nice sturdy box by the looks of it. See if I can get in this without doing too much damage. Well, I wish I'd got longer nails, to be honest. We'll be very, very careful now. So, it says. I don't like you to get in this very easy, do they? I think I've done it there. That's it. Right. So we'll have a look at the goodies that we get. I was doing it to try and keep that on it, to be honest, but hey ho, see if it'll come out that way. Which I don't think it's going to. Bear with a minute. At least it does prove it is live, doesn't it, folks? So that is the box. It's quite a nice, sturdy construction, very similar to the Let It Be box set that came out last year. So record one is the stereo remix by Giles Martin. So it's just normal tracks off the album. Packed Man, Eleanor Rigby, I'm Only Sleeping, Love You Too, Here, There, Everywhere, Yellow Submarine, and She Said, that's side one. Side two is Good Day, Sunshine, And Your Bird Can Sing, For No One, Dr. Robert, I Want to Tell You, Got to Get Into My Life, and Tomorrow Never Knows. Record four is the original mono analog master from what I can make out. The stereo one is a digital remix. I think I've got that right. But what most of the Beatles fans, hardcore Beatles fans, have got this for is the sessions. I think some of them have been out before. I think a lot of these was on a bootleg CD I got from years ago. So sessions one, side one is Tomorrow Never Knows, take one. Tomorrow Never Knows Mono Remix 11, which is the famous version that was on the original UK mono album for one day only. Got to Get You Into My Life, first version, take 5. Got to Get You Into My Life, second version, undocumented mix. Got to Get You Into My Life, second version, take 8. Then you've got Love You Too, take 1. Love You Too, unnumbered rehearsal. Side 2, Love You Too, take 7. Paperback Writer, takes 1 and 2, backing vocals. Rain, take 5, actual speed, whatever that means. Rain, take 5, slowed down for master tape. So they've recorded it fast. So they must have recorded it fast and then slowed it down for the mix, I think. Then you've got Dr. Robert, take 7. And Your Bird Can Sing, first version, take 2. And Your Bird Can Sing, first version, take 2. Giggling. That's the giggling version. Very famous. That was featured on the anthology, wasn't it? So side 3 is And Your Bird Can Sing, second version, take 5. Taxman, take 11. I'm Only Sleeping, rehearsal, fragment. I'm Only Sleeping, take 2. I'm Only Sleeping, take 5. I'm Only Sleeping, mono mix, remix 11. Sorry, remix 1. Eleanor Rigby, speech before, take 2. Eleanor Rigby, take 2. Then side 4 of this box set is For No One, take 10, backing track. Now, I would have liked to have heard an alternative version to that, because I think that is one of the highlights of the original album for No One. That's just my opinion. Then you've got Yellow Submarine, songwriting work tape, part 1. Yellow Submarine, songwriting work tape, part 2. Yellow Submarine, take 4, before sound effects. Yellow Submarine, highlighted sound effects. I Want to Tell You, speech, and then take 4. Here, There, Everywhere, take 6. She Said, John's home demo. And She Said, that's hard to say, isn't it? She Said, take 15, backing track, rehearsal. And then the final vinyl is the original mono master. And then you've got the Revolver EP, which is paperback writer stereo, main stereo, and then you get the original mono mix of paperback writer and main on side 2. So that is the track listing, if you can see. Now, I've just realised that on here it says made in the Czech Republic. All right. Well, I think the other Beatles box sets, like the White Album and the Let It Be, weren't they made in Germany, if I remember rightly? That could be wrong. So far, box and the information on the box and the artwork for the front. It's just a shame. You're not going to pick that up, but when you move it, it actually say Revolver, and then the Parlophone logo does come up, but you've got to get it in the right light. And because this has still got the thing on the front, I don't think you're going to see it. So, but I'd say it's brilliant. The packaging itself, how it came, is brilliant. Now we're going to look at the records. The Elvis Coupe guy has just said how much was it. I paid for this box set. I think I paid £165 if I remember rightly, but that was with the postage as well. Some of them on eBay and places like that were asking silly money, like £180, £190. So I don't think it did too bad. Like I said, now we're going to go and have a look on to the albums. Right, so this is the stereo version. This is the one that's remixed by Giles Martin. The first thing I'd say is, yes, the cover is lovely and nice and shiny, very faithful to the original 1966 issue. The thing I think that lets this down straight away is it's not flip back. Now, is that me just nitpickling, or I would have thought just trying to get it as authentic to the 1966 originals, that would have looked better with a flip back cover. Apart from that, everything else seems okay. I mean, it's nice wording on the spine. Obviously, they haven't got the original number on the spine, but they have put the original number there. So this is basically a copy, although slightly remixed copy, of the original stereo version from 1966. So that is the track listing, that is the back. It's a shame this isn't a bit more laminated. But like I say, I think that would have looked better with flip back sleeve, or flip back sleeves even. This is the record itself. So it does come in a polyline sleeve or anti-static sleeve, which is good. There's some things in dead wax, but I can't really read what they say, to be honest. Nice heavyweight record, but to me, it just doesn't. I wouldn't say that. I haven't got no scales, but to me, that doesn't seem like it's 180 gram. I don't think it's far off, but it's probably me just being paranoid. But that doesn't quite seem as heavy as some of the other records that I've got that are 180 gram. Very faithful to the original Parlophone label. You've even got the sold in the UK subject to resale price conditions, see price lists, which is nice to see, isn't it? That actually does look nice. I mean, I've bought brand new box sets before, and I've got the records out, and there's been dust and all sorts on them. But so far, this looks okay. This looks very nice. I would say it is a quality product. What it sounds like, we've yet to see, or yet to hear, should I say. But that will be in another video. So yeah, you're keeping up. Yes, yeah, so, I think that is brilliant. I do actually think it's brilliant. The only thing that I think lets it down, personally for me, is it would have looked better with a flip back sleeve on it. That is it. That is the only criticism I've got, and it is a very, very mild criticism. Everything else is absolutely lovely. Love it. This is basically what I got it for, was the mono version. Yes, I have got mono versions, but I haven't got the one which was only released for the day, which is it 606/1, isn't it? For Mine Never Knows, which was the alternative version, which was only on it for a day. Yeah, because that's unusual, because that one on the stereo it says PCS 7009, which it would have been, right? On the mono one it says PMC 7009, which was the correct number, but then it says also available on stereo, but on the stereo it doesn't say also available on mono. Because in 1966, I think mono was still the main actual format for most of the Beatles LPs, weren't they? Again, really, really nice cover. And you do get the all-important mono and stereo on them. Again, the thing that lets it down for me, it's not a flip-back sleeve. Why they haven't put on a flip-back sleeve, I don't know. Whether it's to do with production costs or something, although to be honest, I don't think it would have made a hell of a lot of difference putting it in, you know, price-wise to put it in a flip-back sleeve. Construction's okay. I've seen better, to be honest, but you know, at the end of the day, it's what it is. I think when you're buying box sets like this, there's also always a little bit of give and take. Now, this is as soon as I've took this out of the sleeve, bear in mind, you've just seen me unbox it and unseal it and everything. So it's never been plain. That is as dusty as hell. And if it's got a pick on there, there's one there, look, couple there. Yeah, you know, nice labels again, though. Really, really nice labels. This one does actually feel a little bit heavier than the other one. So this one might actually be 180 gram, but that to me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can see at least 8 bits of dust on that. I hope it is just dust. Which for saying it's supposed to be a brand new sealed record, is it acceptable? Well, you don't know how long it is they were pressed, do you? Yeah, it's, you know, some just come out, but you don't know when these was actually pressed. So that's side 1, and that is side 2. With the all-important alternative version of Tomorrow Never Knows. This thing about marks on them. Yeah, maybe I'm nitpicking, but if you're spending this sort of money, you expect it to be perfect when you open it, don't you? I know it's not always the case, but you know, to me that is a little bit disappointing. But it could even be, you know, there might have been bits of paper or something there. I don't know. But if it's in an anti-static sleeve, there shouldn't really be anything on it, should they? But I recommend you now, don't you, if you go out and buy a brand new record, to clean it before you play it. So in the, it doesn't really matter at the end of that. So yeah, apart from it not being in the flip back sleeve, it's nice to have. What's that one say there? The guitar solo at the end. This is from the Elvis Cup guy. The guitar solo at the end is straight copy of the middle 8. The same solo was later reissued on a tape loop, reused on a tape loop, and on Tomorrow Never Knows. Tomorrow Never Knows. What is the counting like on Taxman? I don't know. I haven't, like I say, the Elvis Cup guy. I haven't actually played these yet. You're actually watching me unbox it. Yes, I've had it since Friday, but I've been at work, so you know I'm doing this live. I'm not 100% sure about the counting on Taxman, but I'm going to play these later, and later in the week or maybe next weekend I will be doing a proper review of what they sound like and things like that. Now we're going to go for the sessions. Sessions. Oh, hang on. What's this? This is the EP. For Revolver, they've gave you an EP of Paperback Writer and, God, that's tight, Rain. So let's have a look. What do we get? So on side 1, they have tried to make it look as authentic as they can do. Obviously, it says Sony tunes, and you've still got the sold in the UK subject to price conditions, but then you got published 2022. So the stereo remixes are new remixes. That is on side 1, and then Side 2 is the original mono mixers for the original single. Now, those of you that know, again, that has got dust on it. I've just pulled that out, and it's got dust marks on it. Which, yes, I do. Look, I mean that one there. Look. Which, yes, I do know. You know, when I get my fibre brush on them, that lot, they've all come off. But then, yeah, you can sort of expect that because that is in the cardboard sleeve, which is very, very. It isn't more cardboard than paper like the original ones. Another thing, like they've tried to make this as authentic as possible, haven't they? They've gone to all the trouble of doing all this, right, and that on the back, which I think is the original. Exact copies of the original sleeve, but then why is it a side opener? Why does it come out the side? Why does it come out the top? Just little things like that that I know it's not going to make any difference on to how it sounds and things like that. But to me, if they've gone to the trouble to do a faithful reproduction of the original sleeve for the single, why not do a top opener as well and make it really authentic? Same with the 2 albums we've looked at so far. Now, if they've got flip back sleeves on them, you know, I would be praising and praising and praising and praising this. Don't get me wrong, I'm impressed with what I've seen so far, but I think just a couple of little things could have made it even better. From the presentation of the overall box set. Now we'll come to the sessions. Apparently this was at one time going to be the cover for Revolver. The Beatles rejected it. So you've got, that's the back cover, which I think is a slightly different photo. It is. Now that is the sessions one at the top, and then the bottom one is the original back cover. Slightly different. I mean, John's looking different way. Paul's looking a different way. George is looking at something on that. Mingo's looking down. So it must be a. I mean, it's done at the same time, obviously, but an alternative. Get all the track listing on the back there, which we've already gone into, so I won't bother saying it again. I will leave it there so that you can all see it. Yeah, I must admit that is actually quite nice. And they gave this a catalogue number of 4559954. But then you've still got the EMI and everything on the back of it, although it's nothing to do with the EMI now, is it? Sony who owns it, or Universal Music. Oh, that's nice. It is a gatefold, this, with the Beatles in the studio. I don't know what studio it is. I presume it's Studio 2, isn't it? Because I think it was Studio 2 where they did most of the recordings. So that's nice. That's a plus for it. With it being a gatefold again, that is a plus for it. Using the alternative cover is a plus for this, and using that slightly different photo for the back is a plus. So maybe they've gone to more thought into doing this than the covers for the stereo and the mono. Or am I just being picky? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, they say this is the Revolver sessions, but when they started recording this album, it wasn't called Revolver, was it? Many, many, many different names. Wow. Well, this has got a bit of a wow factor to it, to be honest. Yeah. This is made to look like a parlophone test pressing, which for an LP I've never ever seen before, so I presume that is what it is. Although they've got to have some copyright thing on the bottom of it, but it is nice, and I think, you know, wow. All I can say on that, wow, that looks amazing. Hope it sounds as good as it looks. Is that a side one? Yeah, so that is side 1, and then that is side 2. Again, there is slight, they're not marks, it's like dust or something on it. Like I say, when you're paying a premium for these box sets, it would be nice if when you took the records out, they were pristine. Yes, I know they've probably never been played, but you know, it's just sort of spoilt it a little bit. That's all I'm going to say on that. Sort of spoilt it a little bit. I know it's not the end of the world, don't get me wrong. A lot of you will be saying, Dave, you're just nitpicking, and I probably am. But you know, this was a lot of money, and originally I wasn't going to get this. I've always wanted it, but there was a, well, if you watch some of my videos, you know I bought a load of stuff off a person on eBay who turned out to be a con man, but luckily I got the money back, which is why I bought this now. At the time I couldn't afford it. So that is side 3. Again, these labels are amazing. These labels make it for me, to be honest. I can overlook the other little bits, to be honest, because I've never ever seen something like that before. I've seen like reproductions and stuff for, you know, singles and things like that, but and obviously the Apple acetate ones and things like that, but there's in some of the box sets that have been released. But to me, that is lovely. It really is lovely. Again, there's little bits of marks on it, but so far so good. It is nice that they are all in anti-static sleeves as well, although they don't want to go back in that one for some reason. So yeah, so far I'm very, very happy. Even with the little things that they could have done a little bit better. Now we've got the Revolver book, which I don't know if you can see, but there is like bits of the hair. Do you know, like the hair, the cartoonish bits of like the Beatles? There's little bits of the hair on there, which you probably not going to see. And you get an Apple trademark at the back, which is nice. That didn't sound very good, did it? Taxman, Eleanor Rigby, Only Sleeping, Revolver, forward by Paul McCartney. See, there is some nice photos in here. Got to be careful because it didn't sound too good when I opened it. I'm not going to show you everything in this. I'll just look for things that might be of interest to us. I'll say to us because I'm looking at this the same as you are now. So again, Beatles in the recording studio. Isn't that a nice photo? Forward by Paul McCartney, which isn't that big, to be honest. One page. Introduction by Giles Martin. Again, one page. That's quite interesting. That's some few nice photos of the boys. Oh, John's looking at me talking. Hello, John. Hello, John. Hello, Dave. Yeah, some nice photos. Another alternative shot of the cover on the back of the original album now, isn't it? See, that would have been nice as well to put on probably the session as well. Sessions and outtakes. Paul McCartney. So I always thought this was a doctored photo. Paul McCartney, right, during the recording sessions for Revolver, looking at a copy of a Rolling Stones LP, which is Aftermath. I always thought that was a doctored photo or made up photo. But it's not, is it? Or is it? I don't know. One here, this is the original track listing, right? So Taxman, Granny Smith. So George would have had 2 songs straight after one another. 3, Tomorrow Never Knows, I'm Only Sleeping, Dr. Robert, and Your Bird Can Sing. So side 2 would have been Yellow Submarine, I Want to Tell You, Got to Get You Into My Life, Eleanor Rigby, For No One, Here, There, Everywhere, and Good Day Sunshine. Would that have made a better track listing than the original, than the one that was released? Probably not, to be honest. Probably not. Would Tomorrow Never Knows been better as track 3 on side A than the final track of the album? Probably not, in my opinion. We'll show you. You can see that. So there's some interesting things in this book. Some more photos. Wasn't that used on that Mark Lewisham book, Complete Beatles Recordings? I'm sure that was done at the bottom there of this book, which I used to have, which I don't know where it went. Probably lent it somewhere and then gave it back. Yeah, so there's some nice things in here. Again, the presentation is very, very good, very, very good, which you'd expect now with these box sets. And it's all just pictures of old EMI tape boxes and stuff. So yeah, very, very good. The Beatles Revolver, John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, Ringo Starr. Special thanks, Yoko Ono and Olivia Harrison. Exclusive producer, Jeff Jones. Project producers, Jonathan Clyde and Guy Hayden. All 1906 recordings produced by George Martin, except parts 1 and part 2 of Yellow Submarine songwriting work tape produced by John Lennon and Paul McCartney, and John Lennon's demo of She Said, produced by John Lennon. Recording engineer Jeff Emmerich, assistant engineer Bill McDonald, additional engineers Richard Lush and Jerry Boys, technical engineer Ken Townsend, additional technical engineers Keith Slaughter, Graham Platt and Dave Harris. 2022 stereo remix of Revolver, paperback writer and Rain, produced and mixed by Giles Martin, engineered and mixed by Sam O'Kell, mastered by Miles Showell. Okay. Sessions, mixed by Giles Martin, mastered by Alex Wharton. 2022 mono remaster of Revolver, vinyl mastered by Sean McGee. CD mastered by Thomas Hall. Paperback writer Rain, EP mastered by Miles Showell. So they've actually got different engineers on all the albums there, haven't they? I think. Just say there. That's the final. So there is more in that book than I've shown you, but I'm just trying to make this as quick as I can. So the book is brilliant. Can't fault the book. The Sessions double LP again, brilliant. Love it, especially for these demonstration or test pressing sort of like labels. Again, brilliant. The artwork and everything on the mono remix, or whatever you want to call it. Is it a mono remix? I don't know. Worth having there for the alternative version of Tomorrow Never Knows. Again, the only thing that lets it down for me, and I am being honest here, is that would look better with a flip back sleeve. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it spoils it or anything. I'm just saying that to me, I think that would look better with a flip back sleeve. And again, with stereo remaster, remix, or whatever you want to call it, that would have looked better with the flip back sleeves like the original LPs. Lighter EP. A lot of you might say, well, Paperback Lighter wasn't on it, so why have you got an EP out? Paperback Lighter was originally going to be on, or was recorded at some of the same sessions. Again, that is nice to have. And I suppose it's going to be nice to compare the original mono versions to the new stereo versions. But to me, Beatles singles always sound better in mono, as do most of their albums. Like I say, that is just my personal opinion. Again, they've gone into a hell of a lot of trouble to reproduce the original single sleeve, but then it comes out at the side instead of the top. It's just little things like that that I think have slightly spoiled this box set. That's just to me as a Beatles fanatic and a record collector. I know it's not going to affect how the records sound and things like that, so it doesn't really matter in the long run, does it? But to me, just little things like that, and that would have been excellent. At the minute, I would say it's a very good plus, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's excellent. As this has been produced or made in the Czech Republic, I don't know what the sound quality is going to be like, because the other ones were German, weren't they? I think, which was okay. Box again is okay. Getting a bit standard now into this type of construction, which is good, because then when you do put them all on your shelves, they all do look the same, I suppose. Yeah, overall, I'm very, very happy. Like I said, just a couple of little things that could have made it a little bit better. That's all I'm saying. What I paid for, I do think it probably is worth the money. It's still a lot of money, don't get me wrong. But then you're getting the mono mix of the original album, you're getting a stereo remix, slightly remixed. You're getting the session outtakes, which, okay, some of them have been out before on illegitimate bootlegs and things like that. So it is nice to get an official release. The book's nice. The book is nice, and this is nice. That is still nice to have. Don't get me wrong; it is nice to have. When this album came out, the Beatles were actually still touring in 1966. From the Revolver album, guess how many songs are played live on their last tours? How many? 5, 4? None. Nothing was ever reproduced live, as far as I know, from the Revolver sessions. Although they did include Paperback Writer in the last few live gigs, and that was it. I don't suppose they could have really done Tomorrow Never Knows live on stage in 1966. You could now, and things like that. So, but to think, at the time of the release, they went on tour, and they'd got a new album out, but they didn't play anything from that album. It's very, very strange, isn't it? I mean, even nowadays, if the band go on tour and if they've got an album to plug, the majority of the set will be the new songs, won't it? Which always seems a little bit strange to me. The other thing that seems a little bit strange, this is just from my point of view, is we know, like I've just said, that the Beatles only live recordings that they did in concerts in 1966 that were from 66 were Paperback Writer. So it would have been nice in the sessions to probably have a live version of that from Candlestick Park, or from Tokyo or whatever, because we do know that they did it, don't we? So that is the only little criticism, but it is a very, 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 very mild criticism. When I do unboxings, I like to be as honest as I can, and I think I've been on this. The sound quality and stuff, I can't really comment on until I've played it, which will probably be later today, and I will probably do a video probably in the middle of the week, probably Wednesday, maybe Thursday. But as an overhaul of what we've got, yes, it is good. That's all I'll say. It is good. I'm happy that I've got it. And you know, it is nice to have the original mix of the mono album and things like that. Is it worth what I paid for it? That's the all important question. Well, in this day and age, yes, it is. Don't think the mono mix is the mono album is going to be just re-released on its own, is it? So I think that is the only way you can get that is within this box set. I think the stereo remixed album is going to have a standalone reissue into it. The sessions you can't get on their own. I know there is different ways of getting this, because you can get this vinyl box set, you can get a CD box set, which is basically the same as this. Then you can get the standalone stereo album on vinyl. You can get a picture disc version on vinyl, which would be the stereo one, I think. Then you can get, I think it is a 2-disc CD version, which is the stereo mix and selections of the outtakes or the sessions. I think I could be wrong, and know me, I probably will be wrong. So if I've cocked that up, I'm very, very sorry. So I hope you've enjoyed this little delve into this box set. But all of those of you that are still waiting for your box sets, I do hope that you do get them soon. I'm amazed that I got this as quick as I did. HMV, hats off to him. In the description when I ordered it did say they will try to get it there for the delivery date, but because of the strikes and wherever they get them from as well, it could be up to a week later, but it did come on Friday, 28th. So yeah, I'm very, very proud to have it in my collection. And like I say, the only little drawback, and it probably is me just being a bit of a prat, to be honest, is I think it would have been better with the flip backs on the 2 main albums. That I can live with. Even that I can live with. I can live with it coming out the side. Them not having the flip backs I can live with, but I think if they'd have done that, the presentation would have been a little bit better, and the box art as a whole would have been a little bit better than what it is now. Don't get me wrong, it's still got a wow factor and everything like that, and I am very, very happy and proud to have it, and it is worth the money. But it's just little things like that could have made it just a little bit better, in my personal opinion. And remember, it is just my personal opinion. I do not get paid for making these videos. I have gone out and bought that with my own money and things like that. So, please bear that in mind, where you might watch some videos on unboxings of this. I'm not going to mention any names, but there is certain channels out there that will get free copies from the record company. So they're not going to say it's crap, are they? Because they've got it for free. If I think something's rubbish, I will say it's rubbish. If I think it's good, I'll say it's good. Honest Beatle Dave. Me, that is good. Like I say, the only slight drawback for me is, and it is just my personal opinion, is what I've already said. But I still do think if you're a Beatles fan and you can afford it, go out and get it. If you can't afford the vinyl, CD box set is slightly cheaper. I think they start around the £110 mark, if I remember rightly. Some of you that have observed them might have actually noticed I've now got a CD player in the music room. I never had one up here because it's very, very rare that I play CDs up here, to be honest. But I've done a few videos about CDs now, and I thought, yeah, now we've got one up here. It was only second hand. Don't get me wrong, it's only second hand one. I'm paid stupid money for it. But now I can review CDs as well. And as you know, I did show you some of my Beatles CDs. Was it last year? Got a great big box like that full of Beatles CDs. So now, we might do the odd. Won't be a needle drop, it'll be a CD drop on some of those as well. It's so that's going to be it for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it hasn't been too long and boring for you. But like I said, when we're spending our hard-earned money on box sets. You know, I think we've all got to try and do it justice. And yes, I love it. I do love it. Even though I ain't got flipbacks on the LPs, you know, I still love it. And yes, I do think if you can afford it, which not everybody can, and let's be right, times are hard, especially in the UK. But if you can't afford this, go out and buy the CD box set. If you can't afford the CD box set, go out and buy the 2-disc CD, and then you'll get an inkling of what this is like. But yeah, it's good. Don't know what it sounds like. But overall, I'm impressed with the presentation of the box. Over impressed in one way with the packaging, you know, and the speed of the delivery and things like that. You know, I've got no faults against any of it, to be honest. It is what it is at the end of the day, and it's going to sit proudly with my other box sets, which you probably can't see because Fat Dave's in the way. But I will have to make room over here now for that. But it's got to sit nicely into it just before Sergeant Pepper. So I've now got the Revolver, Sergeant Pepper, the Beatles, White Album, Abbey Road, and the Let It Be box sets. I've got the original Let It Be's as well. So yeah, so that's going to be it. As always, thank you to everybody that has. If you've watched this from the beginning to the end, I've just realised how long this has been going on. Well done. If you're a new subscriber, welcome. If you're old subscriber, welcome. Everybody's welcome in Beatle Dave, Beatle Dave's channel. And that's going to be it for today. You might get another video later on, but it's not going to be about this. It'll be about something else, probably. Depending on how I feel, because to be honest, I'm tired. So thank you, everybody, for watching my videos, subscribing. If you're not subscribed, by the way, you know, if you like this, I know it's gone on a little bit. You know, just press the subscription button and the notifications bell. It is free. That is the bargain. It's free. Even though it is an old geezer talking about records and things like that, you know, if you like that sort of thing, this is the channel for you. That's what I'm going to say. Thank you to everybody that has been supporting me since I started the channel as well. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too boring. And yes, I'd highly recommend it if you can afford it. You know, go out and buy it. That's all I'm going to say. I'm sure there'll be things on here that will amaze you. And the book itself looks very good as well. So till the next time, it's Beatle Dave wishing you all peace, love and happiness. So till the next time, it's ta-da for now, me ducks.